Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, you've sent us a really fascinating piece of source material. It's a detailed infographic framework. It's called the TM3 Belly Blaster. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like, another quick
It
fix.
does have that ring to it.
Right. But our mission for this deep dive is to get past the name, to really analyze the specific three-part mechanism it lays out: balance, transform, and cleanse plus stop.
Yeah, and this framework claims this is what's needed to shift the body's entire metabolic state.
Exactly. From what it calls store fat mode to burn fat mode.
And that's what makes it so interesting because it tries to answer that one really frustrating question for, well, for anyone trying to manage their weight.
Which is?
Why is that stubborn belly fat so hard to lose, even when you feel like you're doing everything right?
Yeah, even with the diet and the exercise.
Right. And the system here argues that most approaches fail because they don't look at the body's internal state. They just ignore that you might be hormonally locked.
Locked in store fat mode. That's the core idea we have to unpack, isn't it?
It is?
Because the framework doesn't start with calories. It starts by diagnosing three main roadblocks. Three things that keep the body stuck.
Exactly. They lay it out like a hierarchy of what's going wrong.
Right.
And the most critical roadblock is hormonal.
Okay.
It's all about blood sugar and insulin spikes. That's the immediate signal, the first domino that tells your body to just store everything.
So that's like the traffic cop telling all the calories where to go.
Perfect analogy. And if that cop is always yelling, storage is always the priority. Then comes the second roadblock, which is a result of that first one.
A sluggish, or as they put it, a stuck metabolism.
Your engine is just slowing down, maybe from years of, bad signaling or those really restrictive diets that basically tell your body a famine is coming.
So the body starts actively fighting you. It resists burning calories.
It does. And then the third barrier, which I think is really compelling, is all about the systems. It's infrastructure.
Right. This is the digestive overload, the inflammation, the toxin buildup.
And the source claims this isn't just about feeling bloated. It's a foundational problem that messes with the efficiency of the entire system.
So until you fix those three things, the hormones, the slow engine, and the backed up plumbing, your body just defaults back to storage every time.
That's the premise. And this TM3 system is presented as the key to unlock each of those barriers one by one.
Okay, so let's get into it. The three-step solution. It starts with the first and, I guess, most foundational step: balance.
Yes, balance is positioned as the absolute prerequisite. You can't even start talking about burning fat until you stop telling the body to store it.
So this whole step is just focused on blood sugar and insulin control?
That's it.
But why is that so important that it has to be step one? I mean, we always hear about cutting carbs or exercise first.
It really boils down to one fundamental physiological rule that the framework zeroes in on.
Okay.
High insulin blocks fat loss, period. Think of insulin like a bouncer at a nightclub.
Okay, I like that.
When your blood sugar goes up, insulin is released to handle it. And his main job is to push that fuel into storage. As long as that bouncer, insulin, is standing at the door,
He's not letting anyone out.
he's not letting any stored fat leave the club to be burned. It's just not happening. You can exercise all you want, but if the hormonal signal is store, the whole process is, well, it's handicapped.
That analogy really works. The bouncer refusing to let the stored fat out. So balance is the mechanism that basically tells the bouncer to, step aside, take a break.
So it's like telling him his shift is over. It neutralizes that constant stop sign for fat mobilization. And the source claims this helps increase insulin sensitivity.
Meaning you need less insulin to do the same job.
Exactly. Which means less time spent in that high storage state.
And the immediate result, what you'd actually feel, is what the infographic promises. It says, reduced cravings and fewer of those awful energy crashes.
Which makes total sense, right? Cravings and crashes are just physical symptoms of your blood sugar being all over the place. When it drops too fast, your brain just screams for quick energy. By stabilizing that curve, you get consistent energy, which is, that's everything for a long-term goal. This step is about getting control of the internal chaos so you can even start the real work.
Okay, so balance has neutralized the store signal. The bouncer is gone. The body is now, theoretically, allowed to burn fat.
It's allowed. The door is open.
And that takes us right to the second pillar, which seems designed to take advantage of that opening: Transform.
Yes, exactly. Transform is where the system says you can finally, hit the accelerator on the metabolic engine. You're moving past just balancing the signals and onto supporting the actual machinery of fat burning.
So the mechanisms here are all about maximizing calorie burn. They talk about increasing thermogenesis. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. In simple terms, thermogenesis is just heat production in your body. It's like turning up your internal thermostat. And when you do that, your body has to spend more energy. It has to burn more calories just to maintain that slightly higher temperature. So Transform is designed to encourage your body to do that more often.
So if balance unlocked the door, Transform is now throwing fuel on the fire. And it claims to support energy and focus and, importantly, help mobilize stubborn fat.
But the sequencing here is everything. The framework's argument is that trying to push a fat burner like Transform while your insulin is still spiking—
It is like hitting the gas and the brake at the same time.
You got it. You're fighting yourself. Balance makes Transform possible. It capitalizes on that hormonal calm to really ramp up the body's use of fat for fuel. The energy and focus benefits are probably because your body is finally using stable fat reserves instead of just riding those blood sugar highs and lows.
So it's an optimization step that only works once that first barrier is gone. The immediate result, they claim here, is more calorie burn and just stronger fat loss support overall.
Exactly. You've quieted the store signal, and now you're amplifying the burn signal. You're finally working with your body.
Which brings us to the third and final component, cleanse plus scent. Now, this is the one that deals with the internal infrastructure, gut health, digestion. The placement here is interesting to me.
How so?
Why put the fundamental plumbing step last? After the hormones and the fat burning, you'd think that would be step one.
That's a great question, and it actually speaks to the framework's logic. While the gut feels foundational, this system sees it as the step that locks in the efficiency of the first two.
Okay, so it sustains the results.
It makes them sustainable. Balance and Transform might create the potential to burn fat, but Cleanse Plus makes sure that potential isn't wasted by optimizing the whole environment.
So we're clearing out the pipes to make sure the fuel lines stay clean.
You've got it. This step is tackling of that third roadblock we talked about, digestive overload and inflammation. If you look at the specifics, it's all about elimination.
Moving waste, clearing toxins.
Which has that immediate, very tangible result of reducing bloating and inflammation.
And reducing bloating is something you can see and feel right away, which probably keeps people motivated. But the real reason it matters goes deeper than just a flatter stomach, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The infographic makes a pretty bold claim here. It says, a backed-up gut slows metabolism and traps fat.
Right.
And this is where it gets a little more complex. When your digestive system is overloaded and inflamed, it creates this chronic, low-level stress all through your body.
And the body sees that inflammation as a threat.
Yes, like an injury.
Yeah.
And one of the body's first responses to that kind of systemic stress is to slow down anything that isn't critical for survival, like burning fat, and to prioritize storage and defense.
Wow. So digestive stress is indirectly creating hormonal chaos. It activates stress hormones, which then tell the body, hey, it's not safe right now. Hold on to everything.
That's the link. It's an efficiency problem that shows up as a fat loss problem.
Yeah.
If you're not absorbing nutrients properly, which Cleanse Plus claims to help with, and you're chronically inflamed, your body's just not operating at full capacity.
It can't dedicate all its resources to that transform step.
Exactly. So Cleanse Plus is about making sure the body is clean, calm, and ready to use fuel the right way.
So the immediate result is that flatter stomach and better consistency, but the real long-term prize is removing a huge stressor that would have sabotaged the whole process otherwise.
Right. The system has to work as a sequence. First, fix the hormonal signal. Then, activate the burn. And finally, clean the machinery to keep it all going.
Okay, let's put it all together then. Let's review the complete flow from the diagram, because the source material is really clear that the power is in the synergy, the daily repetition.
It's a really simple flow when you look at it. Balance controls insulin and cravings. That opens the door.
Then Transform comes in to burn fat and boost the engine speed.
Right. And finally, Cleanse Plus clears out the digestion and inflammation, which makes sure the whole system is ready to do it all again tomorrow, for what they call compounding results.
Accumulation over time, not a one-and-done thing.
That's the idea.
So what does this all mean? What's the so what here? What's the big advantage of this kind of framework compared to just, a traditional diet?
I think when you synthesize it, the claimed advantages are pretty interesting. First, it says it addresses fat storage at the root cause.
The hormonal and digestive barriers, not just the symptom of excess weight.
Right. And second, and this is a huge philosophical shift, it supports metabolism instead of starvation,
That's a big one. Most restrictive diets basically signal famine, right? So your metabolism slows down to protect you.
which is the exact opposite of what you want. It actually encourages your body to go deeper into store fat mode.
Yeah.
This system claims to work with your body's own regulatory systems, not against them.
And that leads to the other benefits they talk about, the ones that go beyond just the number on the scale.
Yeah, the source mentions that by focusing on hormonal balance and digestive health, a lot of users report, much better energy, clearer thinking, even better sleep.
When the underlying system is working right, everything else gets better.
It suggests this is about systemic efficiency, not just weight loss.
Now, we have to include the caveat, the important note the framework itself provides, which grounds all of this in reality.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's crucial. The important note section clearly says that results are going to vary based on your consistency, your lifestyle, your own biology.
Right.
The system is designed to support fat loss, but it's very clear that it does not replace healthy habits. It's a tool to support a healthy engine, not a replacement for good driving.
So, to wrap it all up, the framework's own message is that this whole mechanism is built on 3 key actions: control insulin, burn fat, fix digestion.
That's the sequence, dissected.
And that leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to take away.
If this framework is right, if the key to getting out of store fat mode is really about fixing your internal alignment first, your insulin, your digestion, before you even focus on burning more calories.
Then does that change how we should define metabolic success?
Exactly. It's true. Lasting fat loss, less about short-term agonizing restriction, and more about a long-term strategy of just supporting your internal systems. What's the real implication of focusing on system support instead of just subtraction?
Powerful questions to think about. Thank you so much for sharing these sources with us for this deep dive into the surprisingly complex mechanism behind the TM3 belly blaster framework.
My pleasure. It was a great one.